Fala galera da vgBR, nós estamos aqui numa sessão fechada para testar o The Witcher 3 e nessa sessão a gente vai passar para vocês a impressão do jogo, falar um pouquinho sobre ele, conversar com os produtores e falar com o time de localização do game para português BR. E nós estamos aqui com o Silvio Martins, ele é gerente de marketing da CD Projekt. E Silvio, fala um pouquinho para a gente da campanha de The Witcher 3 no Brasil e o que a gente pode esperar dela.
Bom, a gente está trazendo para o Brasil a campanha impressa nas revistas, nos sites, a gente tem uma ação no Facebook com a comunidade, enfim, a gente está atingindo todos os pontos onde estão os fãs do jogo. Então, esperamos com isso atingir desde o jogador hardcore, aquele cara que conhece já o universo do Geralt, conhece o jogo do Witcher, e aquele que está começando a buscar alguma coisa relacionada a um jogo de RPG, com aventura, de fantasia, ou seja, todos os aspectos para o público em geral.
Existe a possibilidade da gente receber uma edição especial do game?
Sim, a edição especial vem para o Brasil. Nós vamos fazer uma versão para PC e para as plataformas PS4 e Xbox One. O preço gira em torno de R$ 8,99 para os consoles e R$ 7,99 para a edição de PC. Então sim, o pessoal do Brasil vai ter edição de colecionador.
Legal. Vocês estão programando alguma coisa especial para o lançamento do jogo?
Bom, o jogo sai no dia 19 de maio e a gente está pensando em fazer ainda um barulho, uma festa na meia-noite antes do jogo sair realmente para o público. Então, fiquem aguardando aí mais notícias que a gente vai trazer para vocês.
Legal.
So, talk us a little bit about what is new in terms of gameplay in The Witcher 3.
Okay, so from the previous ones, basically the combat has been refined. We took the basis of what we had in The Witcher 2 and we tweaked it from what we heard from the gamers, what we thought as gamers to make it better. So it's more responsive, it's more fluid. It's basically the animations work in such a way that we time the animation to the combat. So, it's not like you're stuck. Let's say, because often the way it is like your roll, the mocap is like the roll is 2 seconds and this dictates your gameplay. We decided how long a roll should be and we adapted to the gameplay. So we went back to the drawing board and from the beginning we thought how it should look like and then we adapted everything to this. So that's the main thing for the combat. However, the gameplay as well, obviously it's an open world, so that changes everything in matter of gameplay. You really can just take your horse, ride to a place. We populated the world with a lot of things to do. You'll overhear things, find things, get involved into different local disputes. You'll find monsters to hunt, you'll find contracts for monster hunts, but you'll find monsters as well. The monsters do not scale, which means you may get neck deep into trouble if you go in a cave and you find something and it's really, really strong. So then we'd recommend you come back later actually. Well, if you're super good, you may manage to kill it and then good for you. But the way the monster hunts work, for instance, is you'll find someone who gives you a contract on a monster. However, maybe you already killed the monster because you just found the monster and then it's oh yeah, your monster, I killed him already, okay, just pay me off. So, there's no order to do things. The idea that we want you to feel really free, same for the main story. You can take it through many different angles. And it's just the story of the world will just change depending on your decision as you go.
The game has been said to have more than 100 hours. How do you balance the gameplay to keep it appealing and with fresh content for such a long time?
The secret is story and more story. We don't want it to be you have to go and gather. It's just you go, you kill 10 runners, you come back to a dude, you give the brains, you get money. Period. That's just boring. I mean, you can have hundreds and hundreds of hours of gameplay like that, but that's exactly as you said, that's not fresh. So everything you do in this game has a reason, there are people behind it, and there's a story. So if you have to kill drowners, it's going to be because someone asks you, because someone is ill, because it will do something or not do something, and then generally you'll have a choice to make. Do you do it? Do you negotiate? Do you don't do it? Do you do it this way? Do you cheat? So this is how we keep it fresh. Basically, every little thing is wrapped into the greater scheme and into story. That's the idea.
So, Skyrim has suffered from the problem of overpowered characters. The first dragons in the game put up a challenge, but in the end game they are very easy opponents. how powerful can we expect Geralt to be in the end? And what kind of challenge can we expect to keep up with his level of power?
Okay, well, the first thing is your own skills, obviously. I mean, we have guys in the company who just, they're level 2 and they're killing crazy monsters, but, okay, these guys are special. But otherwise, seriously, okay, there's a level cap in the game, and actually, if you finish the story and you do, like, everything or almost everything, you won't even reach the level cap. So don't worry about getting overpowered too fast. You'll have to really work hard for this. It is rewarding, you level up and everything, but you won't just, you know, halfway through the game you won't just kill through everything. That's the main thing. The second thing is that, well, as I said, monsters do not scale. Some monsters are not required to finish the main mission, obviously. So, but if you want to, you can just at the end of the game or whatever, go track them down, hunt them. So that's the main idea. So I wouldn't worry really about being overpowered. Additionally, we have 4 levels of difficulty in the game. The hardest one is called Death March. Well, you get the idea. Don't, you know, if you do that, you're okay.
You have already said that there will be new playable characters. What can we expect in terms of new gameplay for these characters?
Okay, so there won't really be new playable characters. There'll be a new playable character. So don't get, you know, your crazy hopes up that you're going to play a dwarf or that's not happening. You're going to be playing Ciri in some sequences of the game. So Ciri is the, let's say, it's a bit complicated, but let's say she's the adoptive daughter of Geralt. And, well, she was trained as a witcher. But, well, I won't spoil anything, but she has other abilities which are not really witcher abilities. She didn't go through the Trial of the Grasses, for instance. So she has witcher training, but she has her own abilities. She's obviously gameplay-wise. She has a very different fighting style. She's lighter, she's faster, she has only one sword. And yeah, I can't spoil anything, but she has her own thing. She doesn't do signs the same. You'll see, it's completely different. She plays, she's more reactive. Yeah, I would say, I mean, okay, people will kill me at the company for the comparison, but if I would like put it in categories, I would say Geralt is a warrior and she's a rogue in the way she plays, right?
Okay, talking a little bit about the localization process. We understand that this is the first time for Brazil to get such a huge game completely localized in Portuguese with language and text and everything and voices. So how was the process of workflow in terms of localizing the game to Portuguese? What can you tell us about?
Okay. We were very happy and excited actually to do Brazilian Portuguese because, and you're gonna laugh at me, but from the Polish perspective, this is exotic, you know. so we never thought one day that Geralt would be, you know, speaking Brazilian Portuguese, and this is super exciting for us. So we had to, well, do everything from scratch, which involved casting everybody, casting Geralt, because in most other languages, Geralt is from the previous games. So we had to cast Brazilian Geralt, so we went through a lot of different casting, live casting, so, you know, actors would be reading Geralt's line and we would see if we buy it or not. Then we listened to all of this, obviously wrote our feedback, and well, we knew the moment we heard our Geralt that this was Brazilian Geralt. We all agreed on it, there was no discussion about it. So this is like, you know, it was like, okay, this one will be okay, this one, no, yeah, but oh yeah, oh my god, that's Geralt, and that was it. So we were pretty lucky and happy to find him actually. And so we had to cast everybody, we had to, and casting is not just the actors, you know, you cast translators, you make tests, you check what they give you, and if the tone is right, so we would give it to our Portuguese speaker in the company. My colleague Ainara, who oversees the Brazilian Portuguese in particular, she understands very well Portuguese, so she would read it as well, decide what's good, what's not. And then we would tell them how to, additional things, how to do it the way we want. So an example I often give, I mean there's a lot of little details, but an example that is very, you know, obvious, but it's the level of language. So, you know, we want our peasants to speak like peasants, we want our nobles to speak like nobles, we want to feel all this difference. We want, if you have a drunkard insulting you in the street, well, we want, you know, a Brazilian drunkard to insult you in the street. And is it okay to swear? If he says like, oh, fuck you, Witcher, you know, and in Brazilian we receive something and it originally sounds like, oh, Witcher, I do not like you very much. That's not working. We don't buy that. We don't want that. So then we go like, no, okay, guys, it's cute, but we're not doing, a game for 7 years old. We're making a game for grown-ups. So we want it to sound. I know because people say like, yeah, but in our language it sounds very offensive. Like, well, fuck sounds pretty offensive for English speakers, So just translate it, adapt it, do whatever you want, but keep this kind of thing. And then you need good casting. You need to have a good script. We have awesome writers in Polish, so we have really good starting material, obviously. And then you make sure everything fits. You make sure everything in the game fits. We check it all the way, basically. Like we get translations, we review them, we get recordings, we play the game with those recordings, and if things are not okay, we redo them. It's our baby, so we check what's going on with it.
In terms of hours of developing of the localization, how long, or maybe in terms of percentage, how long would you say it took in the game's development process?
Well, a percentage wouldn't be fair, I guess, because it's not like we're doing localization and then the rest is stopped. It's everything. It takes place at the same time. But, well, if you want a rough figure, I guess we started the Brazilian Portuguese specifically. We started like last April, and we wrapped up the recordings, not the text, the recordings, wrapped them up around November, December. So that's around 45,000 lines of dialogues. So, and obviously because of that, we can't just like finish the game and be like, okay guys, let's localize it. That doesn't work like that. So whenever something is ready, like back in April a year ago, some quests were done. So quest designers and the story team tells us, okay, these quests are good to go. So we go and we localize them. So we work parallelly to the rest of the development process. We come around the end of the development process because we need to have an actual story and a quest to do it. But we don't, we work at the same time. So and then things change because things do change. Someone plays the game, it's like, no, this should be like that. So they change, and then they change in all languages, and we redo it. But so yeah. So this is how it is. So yeah. So I guess 8 months for the recordings. And some little things are being still changed as we speak, so like fine tuning.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.